Welcome to part two, giving an overview of Volvo's customer service organization and their lean journey. I've had more discussions with Einar, their vice president, since and learned more about the detail. So first of all, Einar himself, who's the vice president of over $1 billion operation, and he personally gets trained. He personally takes it seriously. He self-develops, and those are also the people who earn the right to then coach others. In other words, your management title doesn't give you that right. It's not a position in the bureaucracy, it's a level of competency. In the first part, I presented this matrix, and there they have the 14 principles of the Toyota Way, organized into philosophy, process, people, and problem solving. And then across the top, they have the 4 stages of the lean leadership model, from self-development to developing others, to supporting daily Kaizen, to a full-blown Hoshinkanri system that links goals from top to bottom. And the way they have defined scores or objectives for their coaches is through this system ranging from 2-2 to 9-9, and they talk about 9-9 leadership. This is a cell of that big diagram, and he explained this in more detail. The leader, or the pupils, the manager is actually a pupil. They're going to fill in the information based on specific improvement projects that will be value chain flow improvement tasks that they take on with a coach. Yellow Post-its are going to be listing for them, in their words, why is this matrix important? Example, why is developing people and commitment to self-development, why is that important? Then the coach person will iterate between reflecting on the proof that is in the green and the red to the right are actually proofs that they are following the principles in that stage. And then the coach iterates between reflection with them, and they can either get a red where they haven't really accomplished that. And then they're applying the principles in daily work, and they're finding a new way of tasking themselves to the next step. And the blues are the post-it notes, and the blue post-it notes are the actual tasks that they're going to take on, that are going to be tasks that they will achieve. And they're going to later go on another board, and they're going to move through the PDCA cycle. Einar's quote is, get off the iceberg and onto the hill. I explained in part 1, there are 2 models where you can either be at the top of an iceberg looking down, but you can only see as far as the water level, compared to leading the team to climb up the hill and take on challenges at every step getting up the hill. So what they do is they measure the management team on Fridays. So this is not just a concept, they're actually measuring how their leaders are progressing from CC to TC3. And their target is that every manager is spending 18 hours per week at the Gemba coaching or doing Kaizen work, which is an enormous amount of time. It's almost half their week that they're at the Gemba and they're coaching or doing Kaizen work. And they're measuring this every Friday and discussing it. They're recording how they're doing on their specific projects. And the way they're looking at it is that our lives are centered. Actually, the whole work of these high-level managers are actually centered around the visual planning boards. And their focus is really on how do we free up time to be at the Gemba. And then for each row, there's a team member. So that you see one team member in her row is updating how she's doing on the task that day. And the post-it note color system is that a blue note means it's a task to deliver. A yellow, green, or orange note is a type of activity that is connected to the blue task. And then if they put an X on it, they've delivered the test on time with the right quality. If there's a slash, then there's a deviation in time or quality. So that's a problem then to solve. They absolutely love visual planning boards. It clarifies who's doing what, when, and where. It's become their focal point. Get a big cultural shift from not having visual planning at all, and maybe at the early stages people are wondering, why do we need this? Why can't we just have it on our computer? And now this is the whole center of their activity, and they love it. Guess that Einar is a pretty proud guy. At the same time, you heard through the presentation, he's humble. He doesn't have any idea how he's going to get to 9.9. He constantly is saying, we still are learning, we're still in the beginning stages, but the alignment is remarkable, I think, because of Einar's leadership and the fact he took the time to get trained from a sensei.